Hi, I'm Phil Kincaid for Foster's Online. I'm out here with Adam Krauss, who this afternoon had a jailhouse interview with Leeland Eisenberg, the man who now stands accused of holding hostages at Hillary Clinton's campaign headquarters in Rochester. Give us a little insight of what Mr. Eisenberg had to say this afternoon.
Well, it was about a 40-minute interview, and he pretty much took me through the days, really the months before Friday's incident, and in fairly good detail, right up to the morning of the incident, through the incident, and where he's at now. And he really presented the day in the context of trying to spread a message. He described himself as a carrier and I sort of as a martyr for getting out the need for greater mental health care in the country.
So then for him, this incident was the end of a long ordeal.
That's certainly how he described it. And he went into some detail about that. A lot of stuff that is probably going to require some serious fact-checking. But as early as June is when he said he went to a local hospital for care. And he said from June up till really right now, he's been on medication for bipolar disorder. And he made it seem like the dose of medication was never enough to keep him stable. And everywhere he turned, from local doctors and clinics and elsewhere, he found that he did not have enough money, or his quasi-insurance policy that he has through his settlement from the Massachusetts church abuse scandal was not adequate to get him the care that he says he needed.
Now, did he talk much about the incident itself?
Yeah, he did, and I didn't sense any reservation on his part to do so, considering there's an active investigation against him. I asked him if he ever told any of the people he took hostage that he in fact did not have a bomb, and he said no, he did not, but he did make very clear that he told the hostages throughout the ordeal that he never wanted to hurt them. That's one reason why he had them go to the back of the office, because when the snipers would shoot him, as he expected and hoped they would do, he did not want anybody else to be harmed. And he went into he gave us descriptions as to how he got this idea, and even some other ideas that was floating around his head to bring attention to this issue.
Talk a little bit about the atmosphere of the interview this afternoon. What was his sort of, mental state today, and what did you take away from the interview in terms of his, condition now?
Well, I have what I think is an interesting vantage point to answer that, because as a couple other reporters here at Foster's, we have known Eisenberg for 2 to 3 years, going back to some local issues that he had, business issues, other things we've reported on. And in many regards, he was very much like he always was, in that he was calm, articulate, and would look you straight in the eye, and his glasses would kind of hang to the tip of his nose a little bit. He kept his hands on the desk, and he never really tensed up, although a couple of times when he was talking about his efforts to get care, he did clench his fists ever so lightly. When he would discuss the voices that he was hearing in his head, he would gesture a lot, kind of like that. And but it was very calm. I never felt threatened. I was as far as away from him as we are now, and it was very calm. It began a little hostile, if that's the right word, when he kind of tried to conduct the interview by asking me if my health care coverage was adequate enough to get him care. But I let him know I was there to conduct an interview.
Did you get any sense that he had regrets over what had happened?
He says he regrets the traumatizing the hostages, but he does not have any regrets if, and I guess there's a caveat here, if this elevates the debate around mental health. I should note, he is regretful that he's not dead. He wanted to die, and he was expecting to die, and he shot right there on the street.
Adam, thank you very much. I want to remind you that Adam's full report is going to be in tomorrow's editions of Foster's Daily Democrat.